what do we want to see when it comes to week 2 of the college football season? What are some things that we're a little bit curious to watch? Some things that maybe we just want to see in general. There's a fair list of them right here, but the first one is Ohio State, man. Let's hang 50 on Youngstown State. No disrespect to Youngstown State. Got a lot of love for them. But when I look at Ohio State, you scored 23 points against Indiana. 23 points. You don't take a Ferrari just 20 miles an hour in the carpool lane or take it down some side streets and just kind of cruise. No, you open that sucker up. You go 90 miles an hour, pedal to the metal, and you fly. I want to see Ohio State do that because what I saw against Indiana, I understand. Road game, conference game, new quarterback. I'm not saying that that's, a thing you need to just totally mail in the season for, obviously, that you had a bad showing against Indiana. I want to see Ohio State open it up, play 7-on-7, and I want them to reassure everyone and remind everyone what this Ohio State team has under the hood because, newsflash, they have a lot of big-time skill pieces. The defense, I think, will take care of business. I'm not worried about the defense, but when it comes to this offense, I want to see them rev the engine a little bit. I'm not panicking from Indiana. I'm just saying my eyes would like to see that. Is that too much to ask for? 50 points, Ohio State. Let's get it done. I don't know if y'all know, but we got the Cyhawk this weekend. I shouldn't say I don't know if y'all know. Y'all already know if you're watching this show because you're a college football junkie. But we got Iowa State, we got Iowa, and there's been a lot of negative publicity around this game, around people betting on the under and a lot around Brian Ferentz and his job and scoring 25 points a game. Like, y'all, let's see some points in this game. The over is 36.5. The over-under is 36.5, I should say. How awesome would it be if this game was 31-28? I don't care which side ends up getting it done. Want to see a lot of points, see some offense, see an exciting product on the field. Last year, this final score was 10-7. Iowa State got it done. And I understand that there is a brand of football that is beloved in Iowa, and they love the fact that we're playing with a fullback and we're going ground and pound, and it is leather helmet, strap it up, power eye formation kind of football. I love that as well. But with everything surrounding this game and all the negative publicity and all the negative press, let's get some good things on tape now. Let's see some touchdowns, man. I want to see Cade McNamara back there just dealing the pill like a shady pharmacist. How awesome would that be? Especially for what Cade McNamara has been through, having to transfer from Michigan, where he won a Big Ten title, by the way. So I'd love to see some points in this game. Would love to see just a good product offensively on the field. That's what I want to see when it comes to that game in week 2. Now for USC, a lot of talk about how they haven't played anybody. Well, they get a little bit better resistance this coming Saturday. It'll be a late kick, 10:30 Eastern. They got Stanford. And Stanford, they got a new head coach. Troy Taylor was previously the head coach at Sacramento State. He's now running the show at Stanford. And I'm not going to go out and say that Stanford's somehow going to be like a tremendous test for USC. But Troy Taylor's football team's at Sac State, at the FCS level at least, ran for right around 240 yards a game. Last year, USC in this game at Stanford took care of business. They allowed right around 200 yards rushing against Stanford. Stanford, historically a really physical football team. They are a team that's going to, at the very least, give it an effort to run the football. I want to see the USC defensive line flex up a little bit here. Because how much do we talk about right here on this show, into this camera, and tell you Bear Alexander's going to be a dude? We had him on this very show. He told us he's a game wrecker. Okay, Anthony Lucas, we know what he was out of high school. Jack Sullivan played a lot of football coming from Purdue. Like, those guys had so much buzz around them. I want to see them just make a statement against Stanford. And a statement against Stanford is, a statement to a degree, I understand. It's not like you're going out there and just stonewalling Notre Dame or stonewalling another good football team that has a better roster than Stanford does. I'm just saying, do what you're supposed to do against a team that you should take care of business against. I want to see them held to less than 100 yards rushing. That, to me, would give me a lot of confidence for USC. I'm not overreacting. I'm not saying you give USC a national championship because they hold Stanford to less than 100 yards rushing, but I think there's something to be said for trends, and that would be a great place to set the trend going forward for USC this season. Last thing I want to see when it comes to week 2 of the college football season, how much do we talk about Phil Longo's new offense he's bringing to Wisconsin, how they'll be a little bit more balanced, going to throw the football a little bit more. Last week, Tanner Mordecai threw for 189 yards on 31 attempts against Buffalo. Now, they took care of business against Buffalo. I'm not saying they should switch it up too much, but they go to Washington State this week. I want to see them open it up, man. Like 31 attempts for 189 yards, that is just dinkanddunk.com right there. That is just check down central. Tanner Mordecai, he came to Wisconsin to Get the arm loose a little bit here. Go wing it around the yard. Go play 7-on-7 against Washington State. You're going to be on the road in Pullman, Washington. Let's bring up the big guns here. And I'm all for kind of keeping the system under wraps in the first game and kind of not wanting to show too much. But like, hey, Coach Longo, let's flex that muscle, baby. If we're going to need to throw the football later in the year, I don't want us to show up that game against Ohio State and say, okay, now let's pull it out. Now let's find a way to start throwing the ball around the yard. Like, let's set a baseline for this here. Let's do it against Washington State. Would love to see Tanner Mordecai be north of 300 yards passing. Is that too much to ask? Maybe. I would love to see them open it up. So a lot to look at for week 2, a lot that we just selfishly would like to see when it comes to the college football landscape. But regardless, you already know we're going to enjoy every single minute of this fall Saturday, as we always do. I'm sure y'all will too. Now, if you were a part of this show in this last week, then you know that we love Prize Picks, man. Prize Picks, daily fantasy. And it is a safe, easy, efficient way to make some money on the sport that you love. We keep it college football here, so that's how we get down when it comes to Prize Picks. If you go ahead and redeem code JD, 100% deposit match up to $100. I'm just telling you, feels like theft. I promise you it's not 100% legal. Now, we got a nice little flex play baked in here that we're excited for this college football Saturday. We're so close last week on a flex play. Went 1 for 3. In terms of our projections coming to fruition, got a good feeling about this one. Now, to give you a quick overview, a flex play means we do not have to hit every single projection to make our money. A power play, got to hit all of them. We got a flex play here with 5 different projections, a lot of them having to do with the big games, Nebraska, Colorado, and Alabama, Texas. So we have Jeff Sims going for less than his projection on pass yards and rushing yards, 183.5 pass yards, 64.5 rush yards. I love Nebraska. I love Coach Satterfield. I don't think he's going to do more than those projections. I just think the offense last week, only time they scored was on a broken trick play. Need a little bit more good faith than that. I'm not saying Colorado's defense is going to be world beaters, but I think those numbers are a little bit rich for yours truly. Now, going to the Alabama game. Also, some plays we like a part of this flex play. I like the more on Jalen Milroe's pass yards and rush yards. Pass yards is 210. Rush yards is 52.5. I like those. I like those a lot. I think Texas is going to challenge them in the box at some point in time and make Jalen Milroe throw the football. And when that happens, Isaiah Bond, downfield. Malik Benson, downfield. Dial it up a little bit here. And I saw him hit the deep ball a couple times last week. It was Middle Tennessee, but I know that it's there. I think he's got more in the tank. I'm excited to see it. And then also those 52.5 rush yards, the way I think we get more than that, broken plays, couple designed quarterback runs. He's the best athlete on the field. He's playing quarterback. And then the last play we like, a part of this 5 projection flex play, Travis Hunter, more than 73.5 receiving yards. For Nebraska, saw a lot of man coverage last week against Minnesota. Would expect them to change it up. But if you want to give Travis Hunter man coverage, he's going to do a lot more than 73 receiving yards. So go ahead and lock those in. Now, the beautiful part about a flex play, if we hit all 5 of these projections, 10x your money. Beautiful. If we go 4 for 5 on this flex play, double the money, 3 out of 5, we still make some money. So go ahead again, redeem code JD, 100% deposit match up to $100. Those are the plays we like. Shout out Prize Picks for bringing the hard count to us, to y'all today. Appreciate that. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of the Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.